What's going down, D-Gens? Back for week 8, making some picks. First of all, I want to start by recapping last week like we always do. And for once, we go 4-0. Fucking finally, only took half the damn season. 4-0, though. Good start, or good, restart, I guess. Not going to apologize for it. You take the wins when you can get them. And then as far as, what they were, we'll go over it real quick. So Bengals minus 5.5 versus the Browns. That covered. They really only put up 14 offensive points. They had one on special teams, but we'll take it. The Bengals get the cover. Washington minus 8. Washington just smashed the dog shit out of the Panthers, even without Jaden Daniels. So love that one. Ravens minus 3.5 versus the Bucks. They end up winning by 10. And honestly, the game wasn't that close, but the Ravens just have an issue. They cannot seem to put teams away, regardless of being up by 20 or whatever in the fourth quarter. It's just like they always leave that damn back door open. Here it wasn't really so much an issue. They get the cover, but I don't know, man. I'm going to be real hesitant laying big numbers with the Ravens moving forward just because of this reason. And it's honestly one of the reasons I'm not taking them this week. Also, Chiefs at 49ers, over 54.5 yards for George Kittle. That sails over. He goes over 90 yards. We knew going into the game that they were going to already be down some pieces, so we figured Kittle was going to get some extra yardage. And the Chiefs actually, their only weak spot is against the tight end, so just something to kind of keep in your back pocket for later. But we got helped out even more with Debo, not really being in the game, and just kind of a whole lot of little injuries going around in that game. So either way, we get the cover on that one, so that was good. So really, 3 of them relatively sweat-free. The Bengals kind of iffy, but the Bengals offense just does not look good, guys. And if you wanted to take the Eagles this week against the Bengals, that would be my biggest argument for them, is just the Bengals offense, something's wrong there. Like I said, they put up 14 offensive points. That's not what you should be doing against a Browns defense that hadn't really showed up against anybody else. And the defense is not all that great. They've gotten kind of lucky with playing some shit teams. So, again, I'm not real too excited about playing them this week against the Eagles. I'm not going to touch that game, but if you want to, I guess the Eagles would be my side on that one. As far as what we are taking, so we're going to be over 17.5 rushing attempts for Joe Mixon. The Texans are playing the Colts. First of all, I expect the Texans to win this game, but the line has really been beat down like crazy. A lot of sharp money coming in on the Colts, and I think that is just because Anthony Richardson is back in. It's a divisional game, and the Texans may have some trouble stopping the run of Anthony Richardson. On the other side of the ball, though, the Colts' rushing defense is just fucking god-awful, so we should see a lot of rushing, just period, from the Texans. And on top of that, the fact that the Colts are not, or have not been, a super high-octane offense means that even if the Colts take a lead in this game at any point, I don't foresee this going like a game script where the Texans have to absolutely abandon the run. The whole coaching staff with the Texans wants to run the ball. They love to run the ball. With guys like Tank Dell and Nico Collins and Steph Diggs, they still just go way overboard on the running. They want to rush every first down. Joe Mixon has had 25 rushing attempts last week. The week before that, I believe he had 16, but he was coming off that injury. And then to start the year, week 1, he had 30 rushing attempts. So, again, just the way that I would see the game script going here, as well as the fact that they want to run the ball, and then lastly, the fact that the Colts can't really stop the run, I like this over 17.5 rushing attempts. The yardage, I actually like the yardage as well. If you want to go over 74.5 yards over 79.5 yards for Joe Mixon. And I would actually parlay those two together. That's up to you. I like the attempts more just because I can see this going kind of, if anything, one-sided for the Texans, and they're just trying to run the ball out and, be done with the game in the fourth quarter. Second, though, we have the Breece Hall over 74.5 rushing yards. Now, on that pick, Breece Hall just has been torching people lately, and he is going to play the Patriots. Excuse me. Now, the first time they played, he really didn't do a whole damn lot on the ground. I think they're going to go back and make up for this one, especially with the change in the coaching staff. They've kind of recommitted to Breece Hall. On top of that, really the Patriots cannot stop the run. They have been one of the absolute worst teams against the run this year, especially if you're playing like in fantasy. Breece Hall is a smash this week. But yeah, over 74.5 rushing yards for those reasons. The Vikings -3 is my pick. That's for tonight, the Thursday night game. Now, I will tell you right now, it is a square pick, and that line just seems too short. Everyone keeps telling me that the Lions should win this game. I'm sorry, that the Lions beat up on the Vikings last week, and that's why the Rams should win this game. And I get that. Every other offense that has played against the Lions has gone out and kind of put up a stinker the next week. But the Vikings just came off a bye week. They had a bye week, and then they played the Lions. So it's really about as fresh as they're going to get. Yes, this is a short week. Yes, they just played the Lions. But again, they just came off their bye week less than 2 weeks ago. Everybody is healthy. Everybody's up and running. And there's no clear advantage here other than Sean McVay being the possibly better coach over Kevin O'Connell, because he's the one who taught Kevin O'Connell everything. And so I give those two things to the Rams. But other than that, the Vikings have the better offense. They have the better defense. They have the better players as of right now because of injury. They're less injured. There's just everything, even the schedule, the difficulty, everything goes in the Vikings' way. So give me the Vikings -3. If it's square and we lose, then fuck it, we lose. But I just can't bring myself to believe that the Rams are going to win this damn game or even keep it within a field goal. So give me the Vikings -3. Bills and Seahawks is the last pick here. It's over 47. We have two of the best offenses going against each other. The Seahawks defense has been absolute dog shit. The Bills defense is slightly better, I guess. But really, the Bills want to run the ball a lot of the time, and the Seahawks just have not been able to stop the run either. On the flip side, the Seahawks, they do have some injuries because I don't think DK is going to be in this game. But you still have, Jackson Smith and Jigba, who may have a breakout game this week. And then you also have Tyler Lockett, who's going to, do what he does. But lastly, you have really the running game of the Seahawks, but Kenneth Walker specifically should be able to run over this Bills defense, who, again, they're another team that just have not been able to stop the run. Now, it is purposely done that way. They don't want to stop the run. They're fine with you taking all damn day to score one touchdown because they know offensively they're going to turn around and score, in 2 minutes.